What's up, credit family? It's your boy, Mr. Credit Banking, and I am back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to save money on a low income. Let's get started. So, guys, as usual, I have my laptop out. I have my notes in front of me. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes. I want to make sure that I give you guys all the information that you are here to get from me today. So, how do you save money if you're on a low income? Basically need to spend less money. But what does that mean? So I want to get into some specifics. I have some tips for you guys, some stuff that I used to save money. And I think this will help you out if you're on a low income also. So like I said, spend less money. So my first tip is cancel cable. If you have cable, guys, cancel it. Cable is way too expensive. In most places, the cable company is a monopoly. They don't want to negotiate with you. Cable bill is ridiculously high. There's much better options out there other than cable. There's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's lots of companies out there, Disney Plus. There's lots of companies out there where you can get a way better deal than having a cable subscription. So next thing I recommend is that you do your car maintenance yourself. This is something that you truly can do yourself. Some examples of stuff that you can do yourself is that you can do, car wash yourself. You don't have to pay somebody to wash your car. You can wash your car yourself. And if there's any repairs that need to be done on your car, you can do that yourself. And I know you're probably thinking, no, I can't really. Trust me, your car repairs, you can do it yourself. If you don't know how, there's tons of videos on YouTube on how to do everything from oil changes to your brakes, changing your tires, whatever needs to be done. You can go on YouTube and there's a video that explains or shows you how to do it yourself. So next thing that I recommend to help you save money is gas. I mean, everybody has, well, not everybody. If you have a car that takes gas, petrol, whatever you want to call it, if you don't have an electric vehicle, you need to purchase gas for your vehicle. And so I'm going to go over a couple tips that I recommend to help you save on and cut back on your fuel costs. So the first thing that I recommend is that you need to have a budget. You need to know on a monthly basis how much money are you going to spend on fuel. So anyways, next thing I recommend is that you carpool. That'll help you split the cost, or you might be able to split the cost half, or 3 ways, or whatever. It will help you lower your fuel costs if you carpool with somebody on your way to work, on your way back from work. And also recommend that you use public transportation. You walk, you ride your bike. It's lots of stuff that you can do to lower your fuel costs or just eliminate it completely. And then also recommend that you use apps. There's a lot of apps that will help you find the cheapest gas out there that's close to you. So I recommend that you get these apps. Most of these apps are free. You download it and they'll help you find the cheapest gas out there, and some of them even give you some type of cash back. So anyways, I also recommend that that you use a lot of gas stations or have some type of loyalty card or a credit card. I recommend that you use those loyalty cards or credit cards to help you save on the purchase of your fuel. Anyways, moving on to the next item is that's pretty, in fact, it's probably the biggest part of your budget. And it's the one area that you probably can get the biggest bang to help you save on a low income is your housing costs. Your housing costs for a lot of people it could be as high as 50% of their budget. So whatever you can do in this area to lower your costs will go a long way. So some of the things I've done and I've recommended is that you get a roommate that'll help the cost of housing, help bring down your cost of housing. I recommend that you rent a room, and this one is pretty dramatic, but hey, find a cheaper place to live. Sometimes we are living way beyond our means or whatever, and our income is very, very low. So I recommend that you find an option could be to find a cheaper place to live. And then, especially if you own your home, when you're a homeowner, there's tons of repairs that always needs to be done to the house. So I would recommend that you do those repairs yourself instead of hiring somebody. If you don't know how to do them, like I mentioned before, you can look up that stuff on YouTube and you can find a cheap way to do the repair yourself. So anyways, moving on to my next tip is that I recommend that you review your bank statements for the past 3 months for subscriptions that you are paying for that you don't, most likely not using, I recommend you cancel it. You'll be surprised throughout the year that we are signing up for a service here and there, and we use it once initially and never use it again. And we have a recurring monthly bill, quarterly bill, yearly bill. I recommend you review your bank statements for 3 months, maybe 4 months. You even want to go back in your funds for these little subscriptions that are hidden in there that we're paying for. Some of them are like only $3 a quarter or $12 a year, whatever. Find those and cancel them. If you're on a low income, you want to, save money and cut back as much as possible. You find these subscriptions, cancel them. So anyway, if you're enjoying my content so far, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. So moving on. This one, anyways, I'll get started. Never, I repeat, never pay interest on a credit card. Okay, guys? Pay your statement balance in full monthly. Don't pay any interest on a credit card, guys. These big banks don't need our money. They don't need any help. So let's not give them any money. You are already on a low income and you want to save money, don't pay any interest. If you're going to use your credit card, pay the statement balance in full every month, and you won't have to worry about paying any interest and giving money to the banks. They don't need your money. You need it. So moving on to the next one is the 48-hour rule. So basically, especially for items that are just wants, the new Jordan tennis shoes or the new expensive purse, whatever, those things are just wants. And I recommend that if you're going to purchase those items, wait 48 hours. If you still want to get it, then it's on you. But that way you get away from making those impulse purchases and then end up regretting it later on or going over on your budget. And, you're on a low income and you're trying to save money. And I recommend that you just wait those 48 hours. So make sure you're not buying anything on impulse that you really don't need. So my next recommendation, my next tip is to eat less meat. I'm not telling you that you need to be a vegetarian, but if you look at your grocery budget, one of the most expensive things on your grocery budget is meat. If you can just cut back a little bit on your meat purchases, you will save a lot of money that way. So next thing that I recommend, and this also has to do with your groceries, is that you use grocery apps or services. There are online grocery apps or services. I recommend that you use those instead of going into the grocery store. Because what happens when you go into the grocery store, you go around, you walk around with your cart, you pick this item, you may even pick extra items and stuff like that. You have a budget, but you're not. Most people are not keeping track of how much the items cost, and they're just picking items off of the shelf. And they're always surprised when they get to the cash register and they're over their budget and they're too embarrassed to put the items back so they can stay in their budget. So then they purchase the item, they're over their budget, and guys, I don't recommend that you go into the groceries. I don't go into the grocery stores. I purchase my items online with an app, and then if I go over my budget, I'm at home by myself, I'm not embarrassed, I can remove the item from the app and make sure I stay in my budget so I can save money that way. In fact, I can then strategically say, okay, you know what? I can cut back on this. I can get the store brand or whatever to help me save some money. And it's all in the comfort of my home. And I don't go over my budget. And most of the times I'm under my budget for my groceries. So that's one of the tips that I recommend to help you save. That's another tip that I recommend to help you save money on a low income. Next, I recommend that you shop at thrift stores. Guys, I think buying secondhand items is a great idea. Most people won't know that you purchase a secondhand item. They're new to you. So as far as you're concerned, it's a first-hand item. And you're going to save a lot of money purchasing items from thrift stores. And sometimes you can even get designer items from a thrift store. So if that's what you're into. So I recommend that as much as possible, purchase items from thrift stores. And this last tip, I know it's going to be pretty controversial, but I recommend that as much as possible, you use your credit card to purchase all of your items that you're going to purchase on your budget on a regular basis. The reason why I recommend credit cards, if you can manage the credit cards, because I know some people, it's tough for them to manage a credit card because you don't have that money in your hand. It's just a piece of plastic. But if you can manage the credit card, I recommend that you use credit cards for all of your purchases because, the banks will give you cash back of points and that'll help you save money. It may even help you pay your bill or whatever. It's going to help you save money if you use a credit card. That's what I do, and I save a lot of money by using my credit cards. I get cash back on points. So anyways, guys, that's all that I have for today. If you enjoyed my content today, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Mr. Credit Banking out. Peace.